10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy Friday, episode number 28 of Stadium Connect North. Whew, I can't believe it. I'm John. This is my good friend and co-host partner, NinjaGuy X. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey John, I'm doing good, It's Friday. I just finished some hard work from a client, and I'm ready to roll to get this show started.
Awesome. Yeah, we certainly have a lot to talk about this week. There's been a lot going on in the community. And so, you know what? We'll do a couple of shout outs here in the chat, and then we will get right into the meat of all this delicious news here. So I see we've got David Wilson's in the chat here, a good friend. Cloud Validation, aka Happy Pipes, and now I know that it's Happy Pipes because I was playing PUBG Monster Chicken Royale the other day. Cloud Validation jumped in, and a few months ago, or maybe even be like a month and a half ago, I was playing PUBG with Lewis, and Cloud Validation, Happy Pipes jumped in there as well. But sometimes I forget, like, the difference. Some people's names on YouTube and Stadia are different, so I didn't put one and one together. And sure enough, when I was playing the other day, realized that Cloud Validations is Happy Pipes. He's a level like 478 or something on PUBG, like completely ridiculously awesome. Meanwhile, I'm like 28 or something like that. I played with CaliFed as well. He was 78, but Cloud Validation here like dwarfed us here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. See, me, you, and Lewis played a couple times the first time together. Yep. I definitely remember that. We've got Vivi in the chat here. He's in. We've got to create a command for the bot here because look at this. Where is it? Exclamation mark plop. So a shout out to Vivi today. He hosted, put together an amazing AMA with Justin Paratrope from Skyclimbers over on the Stadia Discord. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. It's a little over an hour, but there was a lot of great information. We are actually going to talk about that. Got a few sound clips because Vivi has put the audio up online for anybody to listen to. So we are definitely going to be talking about that as well.
Shout out to Vivi because he handled all of that alone, and he actually had time to read the questions before, telling them to Justin. And oh my gosh, it's crazy. I don't know how he multitasked like that, but it was pretty insane. So shout out to Vivi for that.
It was awesome. Yeah. And I could just imagine being under so much pressure and things like that. He's got to pick, like you said, pick the people, read the questions, bring them into chat, all this other stuff. So being able to do that, and which seemed just like a breeze for him. So shout out to that. I really do appreciate that. And like I said, lots of good information here. Let's see, who else do we have here? I see Serena's here. Woo! Hello, Serena. How are you? Our good friend Fletch, who is currently recovering from COVID, so we wish him the best. Is just totally wiping him out, decimating him. So, we had said, don't worry about coming on the show. Just get some rest. And he's here in the chat showing his support. We've got our good friend, our bearded Canadian friend, Metal Wolf. Yo, 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 what's up? Now, he's got, Metal Wolf has been more active in the Gaming Scarmy Discord, and he's got I don't want to say it's an ATV, but it's like an all-terrain little vehicle that I forget what he's got. He's got a name for it.
It's a side-by-side, right?
Yeah, and he's just brought it out there for the spring, although he still has quite a bit of snow where he's at here, so that's awesome to see. Let's see, we got oh boy, you're gonna have to help me with this one, NinjaGuy. Is it Masta Gaming? Yeah, Masta Gaming.
Yeah.
How are you? Just want to make sure I got it right here.
Yeah.
Crow in the house. Look at this. Vivi feeling the love. Woohoo! Awesome. So yeah. So Rhino. That's what it is. Rhino. That's what. I don't know if that's the brand of it or that's what he calls, but
nice.
So, and then we'll go here. 71% if you need to the AMA, just saying. Okay. Well, we're going to go on here. I'm not 100% sure, but we've got lots to talk about here. And we're going to, again, do our best to be clear, concise, to the point, but we always have so much fun talking and chatting. NinjaGuy X has posted a poll here. It looks like we already have 18 votes on it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And let's see. The question is, have you listened to the Skyclimbers Q&A over on the Stadia Discord? So go ahead and vote. You know what? We're going to, with the time that we created this and the session and also the description didn't have a link to the audio, but we will put that into the description and I'll post it into the chat here a little bit later on. So everyone watching has a chance to check it out. It, like I said, fantastic. It was about an hour long, a little over an hour, and so much great information here. So here we go. So the first thing that we want to talk about here is... Alrighty. So both myself and NinjaGuy X, along with some other people, are now can officially say publicly that we are testing early builds of Death Carnival on Stadia using channels. So yeah, so this is exciting. I mean, this is a game a lot of people have been talking about. I know we've both been excited. This was one of my most look forward to games this year when we were talking about it back in December with Aswe, I think, or maybe early this year. Regardless, this is awesome. We've had Herbert from Furion Games on the show a couple of times as well. Just great. So
definitely
we wanted to be able to share with you. We're limited in what we can say about this. Maybe NinjaGuy, I'll let you go here and see what are your feelings so far on what you've played and tested.
Sure. So yeah, I talked to Herbert beforehand just to make sure what we can talk and what we can't talk, and he said that we can talk about channels, so we can say like how it works for anybody who is interested to learn how it is. And the way channels work is super simple. So all they have to do, what the dev has to do is we need to give them our email, and basically they enable us to purchase the game in the store with our email. So like what happens is that, okay, they enable it, and then we go search for Death Carnival in the store. We can purchase it for $0. Maybe they can put a price in, I'm not sure. But yeah, we purchase it for $0, and then it's in our library, and that's it. And when I'm streaming, I got to be careful because I got to make sure that I don't show what it looks like or anything, But it's basically like starting up a regular game. Other than that, when you start the game, there's a pop-up from Stadia saying that this game might be under the developer's NDA, and you just have to press OK. But yeah, that's pretty much what channel is. In terms of the game, we can't say much about it, but I'm gonna say that I'm having a lot of fun. Like, honestly, like, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But yeah, I'm really scared to say anything else. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like. But that's all what I prepared in my head. So yeah.
No, I definitely can collaborate with you on that and agree. It's a real simple process. All we needed to do was supply our email addresses, and within seconds we were up and into the game playing. Like Ninja said, we can't really say much about it, but if you haven't seen already, there are several different trailers out there, so you can get an idea of what it's like. Really excited for this. And like I said, this is one of my most anticipated games for this year. So super excited for this to, see it's moving further along in the development process. And I'm going to be so excited when I can whip the Cowboys' butt publicly on Stadium Connect North. I see he's in the chat here. He's back from selling his Avon, playing his violin. I don't know what else. Making dresses, wearing makeup. I don't know what it is, but the Cowboy.
Yeah.
I've got your number. I'm your first opponent here when Death Carnival goes live publicly. I want to mop the floor with you here.
Something funny I want to say about Cowboy is that this morning I woke up, and he had a video that came out, and it says ambulance review. So I was like,
what?
So I'm like, oh my gosh, did the Cowboy review a trip with an ambulance? Like, did he broke his leg or something? So anyway, so I click on it, and it's actually like a movie, Ambulance, like a movie called Ambulance, and it's an action movie, and he was reviewing the movie. But then I had to comment, and I said, like, Cowboy, I honestly thought, knowing you, I honestly thought that you were gonna review your a trip in an ambulance. and he commented back, and he was like, you know what? I would have totally done that. So yeah, that was really funny.
Oh my gosh. Well, so that's pretty much all we could say about Death Carnival. As we could talk about it more, we definitely will. But just know that the game is progressing nicely here. And like I said, really looking forward to having the entire Stadia community be able to play and enjoy the game. So the next thing that we're going to talk about here is Skyclimbers. As you know, there was a AMA that we mentioned here that Vivi put on with Justin from Paratrope there, talking about Skyclimbers. But right before they went live, they put a blog post out here. So this is basically just an update here. The company is very transparent and forthcoming on the entire development process, and also the what goes on behind the scenes and everything. And basically, this blog post is saying that they've got multiple platforms that Skyclimbers is coming out on. So obviously PC is the number one where it's going to be developed for. Then we've got Stadia, we've got Xbox, we've got PlayStation, we've got Nintendo Switch. So right now the alpha for PC is out. And basically what they've come to find out is, with all the different variables and hard configuration that's out there when taking into account to making a PC game, that they need to do more testing on this. Yes. So what that's going to do is push back the alpha on Stadia. In addition, one of the reasons why they're going to push back the alpha on Stadia is because, as we know, at the Google for Games Developer Summit, Stadia was talking about the low change porting tools, making unmodified Windows games easier to bring over to Stadia. Now, we know like a handful of companies right now have it and these tools and are working on them, and they're working out bugs and whatnot. But it's not available to everybody. So what we learned today on the AMA is, the team around Skyclimbers is about 10 people that are working on the game. So with a focus on the PC, what they're doing, and also this is pretty much work smart and not harder, rather than work on the Stadia version, getting it ported over to Stadia and spending 4 to 5, 6 months on putting all this work in. Generally, now he didn't say, he said by the end of the year, but what's happening is like these tools that will make it a lot less work will be available to them. So they can either work like dogs now and get it over and put out an alpha, and there's going to be bugs and whatnot. Or if they just delay it a short while here, 4 to 5 months, or it might be a little longer, they're going to be able to bring it over to Stadia with a lot less work. And considering the size of the team, this is a smart move. Like it really makes sense. So, this is basically what the blog is saying here. They're talking about eventually crossplay, need to consider the porting requirements and whatnot. So this is good that they're letting us know. They're announcing as soon as they've come to this conclusion. They're working with Google and Stadia and to, their partners and all the development and support to coordinate this to make it as seamless as possible. So although, it's a little sad to see that it's going to be delayed a little bit, as always with any game, I'd rather see it be delayed than it pushed out, half-heartedly and with a lot of bugs and whatnot. So, I don't know, Ninja, if I don't know, what are your thoughts on this about the news and it being the alpha being delayed? It's pretty much it's like a to be determined. Like they don't have a specific date either. So,
so the alpha was supposed to come out next month in May, and yeah. So he said as an example, if it comes at the end of the year, but he said like this is like an extreme situation. So it most likely will come a little bit earlier. I like it because I'm a developer, so I know how managing time is very important, and it's very smart what he's doing. Like it's not like it's hard to think of these things, man. And so like the resource that he's gonna put in not spending so much time in doing this port because of the new porting system it's actually gonna speed up their process of like the whole thing in general. So you have to think it like that. You don't have to think it, oh, we're not getting the early access and they're late. But no, like this is like literally gonna give them more time to improve on other things, and then we're gonna get the Stadia port. So if they would keep with the same plan, in 6 months it wouldn't be exactly at the same spot because they wouldn't have as much resource to work on that.
Right. So, exactly. It makes sense here. And we also found out on Twitter as well that those people that backed Skyclimbers and purchased Stadia keys, that they're going to be sending out Steam keys in the meantime for all those users. And then when the alpha is out for Stadia, you'll get those Stadia keys as well. So I think that's a very nice gesture in order, for them to do this here. Is like, it's just to say, we're sorry guys, but here in the meantime, you can help us with testing the game by playing it on PC here, giving your feedback, because that's what they need. They need all these different configurations, and you play a game, I play a game, we have different experiences, right? Of what we experience with it and bugs or critiques or things like that. So in the end, this is better for everybody, but it is what it is, and at least they're forthcoming and out front about it.
Now I've got some questions. Do you know if like your save file is going to be erased if like after the test, or you don't know? And do you know if it's safe if it's cross progression between? I don't know. Yeah, I'd be curious to know. Yeah, maybe I can ask Justin on their server after the show.
We could ask. Yeah, for sure. So now keeping in the theme of Skyclimbers here, we're going to share here. I'm going to turn off our background music, turn this on here. So this is from the audio from the AMA that was earlier today, happened at 12 p.m. Eastern. And amongst the many questions that were asked, NinjaGuy X had some questions, and myself, we had some questions. So we thought we'd go ahead and share each other's questions here so we can play this. And just make sure, let me know, Ninja, that as soon as I hit play here that you can hear it, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Wait.
And
Yes.
NinjaGuy, there you go.
Hey guys. So yeah, I had a question for Skyclimbers. So, oh, it's loading, I think.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Come on.
So the question was that, what did I ask them again? I asked them if there was like a story, and like like if the game could be finished, and he says that it can he says that the game can be finished in a way where the lore can be uncovered slowly, by doing some stuff. Yeah, maybe. I had a question for Skyclimbers, and yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
I'm going to try to hit play and see if it'll go through here.
Okay.
Of course, I tested it out before the show and it worked perfectly fine, but
yeah.
Let's see.
Can you refresh the screen maybe and go back to 1241? Maybe that would do the trick.
Let's see. It's actually at 12:30 that it starts here.
Okay.
So let's see.
Hi, everybody. I am Vivi, as you...
Okay.
You can skip that. We don't care about Vivi.
Yep. Yeah, we don't care about that Vivi here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 12:30. There we go. So
I have a question for Skyclimbers. So it's actually related to you mentioned that this game will be sustainable for quite an amount of time, but I was wondering, like, is there like a story oriented quest in the game, or like is it kind of finishable at some point, or like is there any like objective on the game that can make it finishable?
Right, that's a good question. So in order to achieve that sustainable long-term playthrough that we had wanted to achieve, we had to make the game do two things. One was reduce friction. So as you know, survival games have very little friction. The first thing is to gather wood, build a house, etc. The second thing was to embed a narrative so that people would want to continue playing. So what we've done is we've created a fundamental, not good versus evil, but kind of constructive versus deconstructive conflict going on between two factions, and then the player picks their dynasty, and the dynasty is representative of where you come from in the game universe. In the game's algorithm, locations from either faction will spawn in any biome. So you're walking through a biome, you might come across a void portal. Enemies from the void will spawn from this portal. You'll have to fight them. Conversely, if you find a Shoy temple, the other faction, you'll have the opportunity to go and enter the temple and get a little bit of lore after you complete a trial. So the answer is yes, there is deep lore. There is an overarching narrative that is pushing the player forwards. But what we've done is we've made it such that it's kind of part of the algorithm. You discover these key story locations as part of the open world game loop, and then you have it at your will. If you want to be very story oriented, you can go and target these specific locations and really dive into the story. Or if you're a more casual player, you can simply play the game as a simulation and just have fun with it.
Nice, very nice. The only other question I'm going to ask live is I'm wondering if there's going to be any achievements for the game on Stadia specifically.
I think so, yes. Well, we plan to do Steam achievements, and the same would likely go for Stadia. And in this case, like, for example, an achievement might be, a simple achievement might be locate your first pyramid. These are rare Shoy locations, or locate 5 temples. Those would be relatively simple achievements. And I'm actually going to post our last YouTube video. It was our world overview teaser. And it should give you kind of a quick overview of a lot of these concepts. I just posted it.
Awesome. Thank you. So
No problem.
yeah,
Cool. Okay. So that was your question in there. You kind of answered that there and gave us a little bit more detail on as if there's a story. Basically, like if you want to follow the certain tracks, at least this is what I'm getting from it, or if you want to maybe
yeah.
yeah, I'll you know what, it was your question. I'll let you do it here to see if I'm on the same track as you.
Yeah, no, yeah, that pretty much clears it up. I like what he explains about the achievement. I think this is what we want. Um, it. I like achievements where you can just expand on the story, on everything, and I like that he says that there's some kind of story. Like it does feel like a game that after finishing it, you can just go ahead and do a lot more to the game. So it's nice. For me, I like to finish my game, right? So after finishing
Yeah.
this one, maybe I'm not going to touch it anymore. But for the people who wants to continue, then yeah, it's very exciting. Honestly, before the Q&A, like I wasn't probably not going to buy the game. Like it wasn't too exciting to me. But I like Q&As. I guess I'm a sucker for interviews, and they get me with these. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I like that too. That there is a story if you can follow. Because I'm like you. I'd like to have this definite story that I can follow from start to finish, and that's why games like, say, maybe like Animal Crossing or Minecraft don't really
Yeah.
get are ones that I super enjoy, because there's not like I want the story. I'm playing it for you to tell me a story, right? Like
Yeah.
I need this, and but to each their own. But I really do like that he does say that that there is that ability to be able to follow a story throughout with the game as well.
Yep. I
So,
agree. I agree with you. Like I can't play these games where like there's no objective. There has to be an objective because I don't know, my attention just don't like I guess I don't like to not know what to do. Yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I like that. I don't like the
Yeah.
open ended and just like, oh, do whatever you want type deal. I like that linear ish experience, which I know
Yeah.
some people don't, but it's good. But
Yeah.
you can see you get both choices in this game here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna try and queue up here second my question here. So I'm gonna share the screen here and a few seconds.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
And we've got John in the chat who wants to ask a question live, so I'm just going to pull him into the
Can you
chat.
hear this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Justin, thanks so much for coming out today and talking to us about Sky Climbers. Really appreciate you taking the time out. The question that I have for you is, a few weeks ago, there was a tweet put out, mentioned how good it was to see that there's a lot of alpha testers using Steam Deck to play Sky Climbers without any porting. The tweet then went on to say and mention, well, we're looking forward to seeing more support for unmodified Windows games from Stadia. Is this a hint that you might be using some of the low change porting tools that Google recently talked about at the Google for Games Developer Summit to bring Sky Climbers to Stadia?
Well, first, John, I want to say thank you for your support. And I've seen your tweets, and I know
That
you
was so cool.
purchased our plushies. So I just want
like
to say,
that.
thank you. It's nice to actually talk to you. But
Wow.
yeah, so in particular,
And this one too.
the amount of people who have played on Steam Deck were verified was about 5 people. So it wasn't a lot of people, but they were playing on Steam Deck without any porting. So to answer your question, yes, we are. If you actually, in our blog post as well, we went into this, but yes, we are hoping to make use of this unmodified Windows porting technology. The difficulty now is figuring out how long that's going to take to become accessible to us. I spoke with our Stadia rep last week, and he said that we should speak again later this year. So without violating any NDAs or anything, what I can say is that not only is the unmodified Windows program in development with they said about 5 or 6 publishers they were already working with, but they are working on making it available to all partners. They are working on that. I wouldn't I wouldn't say anything about when or how. It is confirmed. That's one of the reasons that we made the blog post, is that, we want to make it known that we have to be strategic with how we develop for each platform. So, for example, if we already have a code base which has been forked for Linux development, but if we pour 6 months into Linux-based Stadia porting, and then on the 7th month they announce that now our unmodified Windows build will run on Stadia, that would be 6 months wasted. So we have to be strategic about how we spend our resources as a small development, a small up and coming company. So it's an exciting time, I think, and I would say that by the end of the year we should have more information, but I really can't guarantee anything.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for letting us know.
No problem. And I think ultimately what it speaks to is Google's long-term commitment to supporting Stadia and making it so that developers can jump right onto Stadia. But they're in no rush. And that's something that is a little bit unfortunate. I would love to see the feature be available today so that I could, that we could put the alpha build right onto the Stadia alpha channel. But unfortunately, they're taking their time with it. Or at least they're being thorough with their first batch of partners, and I'm sure that they'll find a lot of issues, and then when it does become ready, they do want to make it available to all partners.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your question, John.
All righty. So kind of like what we were talking about before here is that, they're a small development studio, up and coming, as Justin put it here. And, they have limited resources here. So they're going to focus now the next several months on, that PC build, get it as best that they can for everybody. And during that time, while these other partners for Stadia here are, testing out these low change porting tools and to be able to run unmodified Windows games on Stadia, by the time that testing is done later this year, then Paratope and the crew will be able just to bring Skyclimbers over to Stadia. But I mean, to me, it makes 100%. Like it's a valid reason, and the fact that Stadia is going through the process with the current batch of developers to make sure that once they do roll it out to a broader range of partners, the rest of the third-party developers for Stadia, that it'll be in really good shape. Sure, there probably will still be a few bugs here and there, just like with anything, but it'll be at that state where it's a lot more workable, and it's just, bam, 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 like they'll be able to get stuff done in a timely manner. And this is going to be great for studios that don't have a lot of time and resources. I mean, in fact, when we had our Lumote interview earlier this week, right, we found out that Luminosum Games, they're using a proprietary R engine that they've created, and they were using, I believe it's DXVK, to similar to Proton. So it's a application layer that will translate, the game over Windows game for Stadia there, basically similar to emulate it. That it took for them on their particular game, Angry Warren, I believe is who it was, yeah. Part-time, about a month to translate the game over. So, imagine once these low change porting tools are fully up and working and running and everything, that it's going to make it a whole lot easier. And it's great. Justin says there too, is like, you can see that Google/Stadia are committed to longevity of the platform and making it easier for developers to bring games over, because if it's hard to program for, if it's hard to get your game certified, then you're not going to get a lot of people to do that. And I think Google realized that after a year or so, year and a half in, they're like, we've got these complaints, we need to make these changes. And the fact that they're making the changes, I think is fantastic. Not perfect, but it's on its way to rectifying itself there.
Exactly.
So.
I like Justin's confidence, in his voice. He always had a thorough accent, like voice accent, and
Mhm.
yeah, and he was pretty open with what their plan was with the alpha channel. So I guess they really have like good communication with Stadia at the moment, and try to see when they can get access to that Windows porting way
Those
of doing the
tools.
port and stuff like that. So it's very nice that he's open about
Yep.
that.
Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I'm gonna copy and paste for those while we're gonna move on to the this week on Stadia. But I want to copy and paste the link here for those that want to listen. I'm looking for Vivi's copy link. There we go. So we're gonna paste this into the chat. We'll get it added to the description here. This is the link to the audio from the Q&A for with Justin and Paratrope there about Skyclimbers. Please give it a listen. It's
Yeah.
about an hour, but it is so great. Again,
It is.
Vivi, you did an awesome job, asked fantastic questions, a one-man show, and Justin was so great, very forthcoming, and like you said, his confidence in the system, in the platform is very high. And I think there's even, question was asked about, well, how did this end up coming to Stadia? It's a great story. We don't want to give any more away, but take a listen to it there. The link is in the chat, and we'll also get it added to the description. So with that here, we are going to move on here to this week on Stadia. We got another blog post here, and let me get it up on my screen here so we can see. There we go. Perfect. So this week on Stadia, spring forward into games. You can see the little infographic here. We got some, let's see, PUBG, Super Animal Royale, World War Z, Elder Scrolls, and Humankind. So, after much fanfare, World War Z was released on Tuesday of this week. It was first announced when it was coming for the end of winter, but it was a little bit longer. And then we found out that it was going to be a pro game in April, and it was going to release the first week. So April the 1st was Friday and Tuesday. So 4 days later, April the 4th or 5th, it came out. And there was a little bit of controversy on it here, that when World War Z came out, it was originally said that it was going to have cross-play support, but there was no cross-play support in the Stadia version, which kind of ticked off a few people in the Stadia community. You can play with others on Stadia, but the cross-play for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation is not there. So that caused a little bit of a ruckus. But, I played it, had fun. I played campaign co-op. Let's see. We played with, oh my gosh, Fletch. I know. I'm trying to think the
You
other.
played with Peter Cottontail also, right?
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
you?
Peter. Yep,
Yeah.
played with Peter as well. And who else? There's one more person. Oh my
I don't
gosh, I'm
know.
so sorry. I
What
played
is it?
so-
Was it Ralph? Was it someone? Or
Oh,
was it
Mr. 1030.
Cowboy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Mr. 1030. There we go. Whew.
Hey, good
My
memory.
My
I didn't
brain
even
fried,
watch it.
yes. So yeah, we had fun, and I saw Fletch was playing as well some other times. So it's a great fun game. Hopefully the developer will add the crossplay. I know there's been a little bit of back and forth on someone asking Discord. They say yes, it's planned to be added, and then someone else says it's like, well, if it's added, regardless, we can enjoy the game. It's a Stadia Pro, you can claim it. It is a ton of fun. If you like Left 4 Dead, you'll definitely like World War Z Aftermath. And yes, Vivi, I played with myself. Yes, thank you. It was fun too, really. Kind of exciting. So we're also going along here. Wasn't just World War Z that's part of Stadia Pro for April. Ease 9, City Legends, and Chicken Police are all rounding out the Stadia Pro editions here. Also, Deliver Us the Moon, which saw a last minute delay, literally last Thursday right before it was getting ready to launch. A lot of people thought it was April 1st that the game got delayed, but there's just a few minor things that they need to fix, and I'm sure we'll see it here within possibly next week. Hopefully, if we learned anything, another little tidbit here from our Lumote interview that we did, that they have 2-week sliding periods for Stadia Pro games. So I would anticipate or hope that we'll see Deliver Us the Moon next week, but you never know. We'll stay tuned to the official channels for that information.
And if they don't if they don't release it, I hope that maybe they'll talk about it, maybe tell us, oh yeah, we're still working on it, like give us a little bit more time or something like that.
I would have liked in This Week on Stadia blog post for there to be an acknowledgement of it, but I understand, maybe they didn't really have anything to say, and we're like, well, what could we say? But I'm excited as well, Califett, to play Deliver Us the Moon. What we also saw here on Tuesday was the release of 3 more trials. So that makes a total of 9 trials here. Super Animal Royale has a 60-minute trial. They also we talked about on last week's show, Season 3 just came out Tuesday. Now got cross party support in the game, along with the new game mode. So there's a 60-minute trial on that. Nice. Humankind has a 2-hour trial, which is exciting. Fantastic.
I really wanted to try it, and I clicked the play button by mistake, and my countdown ran down. So I'm going to have to create a new email or something and try it out. That way. Yeah.
And World War Z also has a 60-minute trial as well. So it's great to see these games coming over and into trials here. So this is, if you go to stadia.com/games, there's 9 trials right now that all you need is a Gmail account to be able to play them. You just click your Gmail and then you're in, and you get to play for that specified amount of time. So also here we have, and this is what I streamed here, PUBG Monster Chicken Royale. This is an in-game event. It happened April 1st, started April 1st. It's on until Sunday, I believe. I didn't even know about it. It's an event in the game where there's this giant chicken that goes around just causing havoc, and you team up. It's 2 teams against each other, and your goal is to destroy the chicken. So it's like pretty much the last team or the last person, the last team that gets the hit on the chicken that kills it will win the match. But there's a whole lot of mayhem, and that's what I said. Played with Califett here and Cloud Validation.
How was it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
I would love if they added this as a permanent mode in the game. It would be nice. Fun. Yeah, because a chicken, he'll go around. He's like huge. Like when you're in the plane jumping out, you can see the chicken there, and he's just huge on the map, and he goes around throwing missiles, and he'll peck at you. You're also, if you get too close, he'll fart and all this other silly stuff. Wow. So yeah, it is super fun. So you can check that out until Sunday, I believe. It's in the game on PUBG. So let's see. Elder Scrolls Online turns 8. Enjoy bonus XP, unique rewards, and a cake during the Anniversary Jubilee event. So there's going to be a free weekend starting yesterday. It actually is April the 7th until the 19th of April. So that's more than a week here. That's probably a week and a half or even more. A week. Yeah, a little over a week. So those, you can get a chance to try the Elder Scrolls Online. And then we have the Stadia Ultimate Sale. A lot of bundles are on sale there. Some really great prices on some games. Mortal Kombat 11, super cheap. Destiny 2 Witch Queen Deluxe Edition, which just came out, was already on sale as well. Valkyrie Chronicles and more, up to 75% off. So that sale runs to April the 12th.
Mortal Kombat 11 is only $20 Canadian, and I'm very debating on it. This game was not cheap for the longest time. I guess it was doing good or something, but now it's finally starting to go a little bit lower. So I might go ahead and give that a shot.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So next we are gonna move on here to another little game that has been the rage here recently in the Stadia community, and
Hmm.
that is Projekt Z. So they confirmed here their upcoming Kickstarter, which is April the 29th, so the end of this month. They confirmed here that milestone number one in it is cloud gaming. So when the Kickstarter reaches 105% of funding, then they will be adding Stadia and GeForce Now support to the game. So that is awesome. We are actually in talks with the team responsible for this game. See if we can get them on the show and interview them. Have them come on. People can ask questions. We can learn more about the game and get excited for the upcoming Kickstarter, because this game looks super awesome. Like, I'm excited for it. This is it's going to be free to play game. They'll have different cosmetics and things that you can buy in the game, but you're basically on this like remote island, and it's kind of like Call of Duty, and there's zombies, and there's strategic parts. I don't know specifically if there's building in it, but you know, it's a very interesting game. And this was another one that the community saw and were like, hey, we'd love that on Stadia. And then everyone piled on, and they're like, okay, well, the community is so awesome, and sure, we'll add it. So it's added to the milestone number one here. So I'm excited for this game. What about you, Ninja? Are you excited for Projekt Z here?
Yeah, very exciting. So, like, people compare this game a little bit with Project Tarkov, and my best friend, he's addicted to that game. I never really learned of what it is, but I'd be interested to know, what type of gameplay these types of games are. But yeah, very exciting that we're getting, the milestone is already completed, so we don't have to worry about that. And yeah, what else can I say? I'm looking forward to see what other milestone they have. I think in the feedback I'm going to mention, maybe they should give us some Stadia aesthetics, like like what 9 to 5 did in the past. So
Yes.
but let's see if they can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the graphics are awesome, and they're pretty open in their on their Stadia Discord. It's really fun to talk to them on there.
Yeah. And here we go. We can see, of course, our good friend Humble Bum, I think that's what's his name on Stadia. It was part of the Winter Community Championship. Nathan here asked them about crossplay, and sure enough, the developers said here, let's get over here. Look, we're planning to add crossplay between Steam and Stadia players on day one. So there you have it. They're talking about it here, and Nathan was telling them about here. This is where you can go to find the information. But yeah, so it looks like we are gonna get crossplay between Steam and Stadia on Projekt Z. So excited for that.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have like a release date or anything, but guys, look forward for April 28th. I think they'll start their Kickstarter, so make sure to support them if this is a game that seems interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And so now we've got another bit of info here from a game that a lot of people in the Stadia community love. The Dark Side Detective, A Fumble in the Dark. There's another free DLC coming for us. Like, holy mackerel. Like, this game, this is the second free DLC, I think. Oh, there's Humble Bum. Nathan's there. Hey, how you doing, my friend? I didn't even know that he was in the chat watching. Yeah. So awesome. Nice. Thank you. That's always great to see. So our good friends are releasing Acupara Games. Again, I'm horrible on names, so
that one is hard.
Yeah, it is. Not like Kyoken, right? Like after you told me for Kyoken, I got it down. So. Nice. But so here we are, like Dark Side Detective, Fumble in the Dark. And one flew into the cuckoo's nest. McQueen faces the shocking truth behind the disappearance of Buzz Dooley. And this one isn't far away. This is coming out next week. And you can see this here on the little clip that they have here. One flew into the cuckoo's nest. The Dark Side Detective is so funny. Like, the game is just a blast to play. I always crack up playing it just because the way Dooley acts. He's like this like absent-minded professor, pretty much like this buffoon, but he's so funny in what he does here, and it's just great to see that the game's seeing even more support. Like, I mean, I myself, I'd buy these extra DLC cases for a
Yeah.
couple of dollars here or there, but we're getting them for free, so you
It's
can't
crazy.
complain about that. Yeah,
It must have done really good. Yeah, because I spend like $2 to $5 or like $2 per cases at least, like something
Yeah.
like that. And
Yeah.
like I feel like it's not gonna end there. I feel like we're gonna get a third game. I feel like it's never like not gonna end now because it's getting it's still getting some more popularity. And man, Dooley is like, I don't know, like Dooley's is such an established character now, right? Like I
Mhm.
feel like he needs even more development. I don't know. It's weird to say. Like, it's a comedy game, but they're
No.
really doing a good job at like storytelling, which I really
Yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So another little bit of news that we have here. It was talked back at the Breakpoint 2 Virtual Summit about Unreal 5 engine support coming to Stadia. And now Unreal Engine 5 is actually out to all the developers now. And we can see here that, in fact, Stadia is supported in Unreal Engine 5. So that's awesome to see. We heard the other week, games like Witcher are going to be built on Unreal Engine 5. So this is just fantastic to see this support right out of the box here about using the engine on Stadia, because that just means these games that are going to be developed using that will be able to come over to the platform. We know Fortnite switching over. I don't know if they already have, or I know that they're going to, but they may already have switching over to Unreal Engine 5 as well. So Unreal Engine 5 is really fantastic, and it's great to see this support right out of the box.
Yeah, very exciting. Here, I just asked Nathan for a link.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's breaking news, but he's saying here, amidst the start of the show, you talk about Everspace 4K 60 already? So I'm
Oh.
kind of curious about that. Have you heard
Okay,
about it, John?
yeah, I saw a tweet here. I don't have it up here. Rob D, I believe it is, was tweeting out, and he was asking, or he was just mentioning about developers and stuff on Stadia. And one of the things was Everspace, I guess they submitted for certification a 4K 60 update to their game, but
Wow.
they're saying that it's been in certification for a while now, certification limbo. So they don't know that if it's ever going to pass certification. So
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if there's an update past that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So well, I guess that's it for now, right? So invested extra time in first Stadia optimization and submitted a 4K 60 version months ago, sitting in certification limbo, not matching Stadia's high requirements. We honestly don't know if the version will ever go live or not. FWIW, adding a 50% slider does not do the trick. So yeah, that's interesting to know. I guess they're stuck in limbo right now, and maybe we'll get that eventually.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're moving on here. Our good friends Mad Street. So this game came out to Stadia. It's only been maybe about a month or so. It's got crossplay with Xbox and PC, and the developers have been really keen on updating this and getting feedback from the community. And again, just another one of the many updates that they've done. They've added options, time scale, camera distance, who the camera targets and follows. They've tested an 8-man stage in Rumble for performance. Bouncer Jags work in progress. So again, Mad Streets is really molding this game and updating it, taking the feedback from the audience about this game, and I'm really excited about it. They've been forthcoming and saying, that this really isn't where they want the game at, but we're definitely seeing the updates here, and I'm pretty sure in a couple of months here, we'll see what will be like an almost entirely new game. So
Yeah.
I think this one is probably going to come to Stadia Pro. I could see Mad Streets coming to Stadia Pro. I mean, it just lends itself to it, because it's that multiplayer game. So, trying to there's Anthony there trying to get me off my guard here. But no, I just think that this would be a perfect fit, and maximize their profits for the developer as well. Getting this game into more hands and watching Anthony getting that cowboy hat slapped off his head so many times would be worth it enough for me.
I like the name of that last guy, Bouncer Jag Whip. Yeah. I guess John will always use that character because you always want to whip Anthony's ass, right?
Yeah, that's right, for sure. Yeah. So I always had fun with that game, and it's really great. I'm glad to see it moving along here. Next, we are going to talk about Crata. So Crata here has a new season out. Season 3, I believe. Cursed Galleons is out now. So this means they are mesh scaling NPCs, first-person animations, and more are now available. Crata is really, really awesome. You can make your own games in it. You can get super detailed in programming how the NPCs work, their reactions, and in the game objects and everything. It's just fantastic. It's beyond my head, like over my head for sure. But I like to play the different various games. I know Jeff streams it, I think, once a week and plays. We know that there's various other people in the community that have made made games on it, and it's just fun. I haven't played it in a while, but I think I might check it out again with this new update and see exactly what changes have been made, because it's been a while since I've played.
Yeah, definitely. You said Jeff, and shout out to Jeff Gignac, because he was talking in the Q&A Skyclimbers the Q&A, and he said that he's been playing all patches so far, and he was pretty positive about it. He mentioned that every time he's always excited when a new patch come out to see what new features they're putting in. So that's pretty cool. But in relation to Crata, I tried programming video games, and what I'm really not good at is the algorithm that you have to figure out, like the locations of stuff. And I'm kind of curious to try Crata and see like if they maybe they have like good solutions for these types of things. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're going to that aspect of it, you're going to do it on the computer with a keyboard and mouse, because it opens up a whole lot of different options. And I know Crata even has on their website like different videos, like there's good documentation on it. So if you really want to dig into it, nice. It's all there for you. It's just the matter of time and drive for it.
Yeah, I definitely have to try it. Like, there's nothing stopping me, right? Like, it's there, it's free, it's on Stadia, which I always play. So maybe I can do a stream, maybe like one time, saying, "Oh, let me try to create a quick game in 2 hours," or something like that. Something dumb like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Fun.
Yep.
All right, guys. So that is it for the news. So we're gonna jump onto our next small segment. So we do like, Fletch is one of our co-hosts here. And we do like to share some of his videos that he made. He puts a lot of efforts in these. And this week, he actually posted a video with all of the Stadia games that came out in 2021. So what he did, basically, there's like a song, and every beat of the song, he changed the game. So like every 1 second, there's a different game. And I find it pretty cool. So what I want to do here is, show you guys that. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as I did. So let me just put it on, and let us know in the chat how you find the video afterwards. this could literally be like a commercial, right, for Stadia. So
Exactly. I love that because it just gives you, you know, a quick look back at all the games that came out last year. And when people say, oh, there's no games or nothing comes out, well, you know, here's, I'm not sure how long that was for, like a minute, 2 minute, whatever it is, of just all the various different games. And it's great to see. And shout out to Fletch for making that video. It's fantastic.
exactly, 109 games I think came out last year, and that's a good segue to what we'll be talking for the community news. But first, I just want to ask John, what's your favorite game that came out in 2021 for Stadia?
Oh boy, so it's definitely between Young Souls, Wavetail, and I think it's between those two. I say if I'm gonna have to pick between those two, Young Souls was my favorite game on Stadia last year because I just like it. It gives me the vibe of like the co-op player. Although it wasn't online, I know that you could play. You know, like we did here. You could still play with your friends remotely as well, but also local. And it's like the story and the sense of each of the characters too. Like they play well with each other, and like one's like sassy and the whole plot to it, and that you can go out and upgrade and various items. You can go to the pawn shop, pawn off junk, and the dungeon exploring and things like that, and the different magic, and it offers a pretty decent challenge. But yeah, I really like that. I hope that game too comes to Stadia Pro, because that would be fantastic. Even more people playing.
Yeah, like that. Like I'm really waiting for that one and Chris Tale to come out. Like these two games look so fantastic. I really hope that they come at some point. Yeah, and I like that idea because Young Souls, it felt fresh, right? Because it didn't came out anywhere. It wasn't really talked about until it actually came out. And these kind of surprises very cool. Like Wavetail, that it happened also. And I think that might be one of the reasons why you were so interested in these, just because they were surprises. Even like Scarf, which did not came out on Stadia, but I bet that you were very excited about it because you haven't heard about it, and it just came out of the blue. So I can understand that. For me, you know what I'm gonna pick up for best game on 2021. It's of course Pixel Junk Raiders. I like this game so much. There's so many reasons why I like this game. I'm someone who likes to play really hard games. I don't know why my brain is like that. I have a story behind that, actually, that I don't think I've talked about it yet, but maybe on another time. But I really like hard games. I like that there's always, like every month, there's some contract bonuses that you can unlock. So you always have something to unlock in the game, so you can always play. The story was awesome. It took like 80 hours to finish, but like it was such a struggle. And like I said, I just enjoyed that. After a while, you could feel like you would get stronger. And some people find like, oh, it's always the same mission, but to me, it was fresh because there would always be a different map generated every time you do another you do another mission. So it was always like, oh man, what kind of stuff am I gonna find now? So after of course I stopped playing, because after a while it's just like you end up finding literally everything in the game, and you're never gonna find something new, right? After a while, right. So but oh man, I really hope that they make either a sequel or a port to consoles, because I love to play it again, and do all this experience again. That'd be fun. And thanks for the laughs. But it's nice because Skyclimbers. Sorry, I talk about a lot about Skyclimbers because I'm now very excited about it. But they talked about seeds, which is like, I think you're going to kind of be thrown into these different seeds, which is kind of like different worlds that are going to be generated. And that kind of excites me too, because that gave me like a Pixel Junk Raiders vibe, where you're thrown in this world, right? So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
I'm definitely excited for Skyclimbers too, like even more so after the AMA today. I mean, I guess it just naturally heightens your excitement, enthusiasm for the game, like just learning even more about it. So really looking forward to getting my hands on that game.
Absolutely. So, guys, today I think like we're jumping on the community news, but today we're progressing pretty smoothly. Like
Mhm.
usually we'd be like 2 hours in the show right now, so I'm kind of proud of ourselves, right? Like we're
Yeah,
not
doing
getting like,
good.
yeah, we'll see. It's not done. Maybe I shouldn't have said that yet, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's jump into the community news. So
Mhm.
let's start. We just saw 109 games that came out in 2021, and Italy did some statistics here that is very interesting. He says, so Stadia has announced to release 100 games in 2022. How is this going so far after the first 3 months? 16 games released in Q1 2022, different to target -9 games, requires release rate for the rest of year two, 16 games per week. Wait, no, 2.16 games
Mhm.
per week. Okay, I get that. So it's interesting. So we're seeing less game coming out this year so far in the beginning of the year. We might be seeing maybe a bigger surge than last year, right? We don't know
Yep.
how it's going to happen, but we're still expecting at least 100 game, which means maybe 9 less than last year, or depending, but that's what we're looking for. So very exciting. Do you have any insight on that, John? Do you think that
Yeah.
we'll still be getting 100 game this year?
Yeah, I think we'll get more than 100 games. It's just like the first part of this year is a little bit slower. You could see in the little graph there that maybe starting within May, June, that month that it starts to bump out, and I think it'll fill out nicely the rest of the year. So, right now we're at roughly about 2 games per week for the next for this rest of this year in order to meet that target there. So we'll see. I mean, definitely there's games coming that we don't know about yet. But we do refer to that awesome wiki that
Yeah.
certain individuals have put together where we
Yep.
can help gauge some of that stuff here. But
Yep.
I think we'll be good. And with these new tools coming out and things like that, stuff will start to pick up as well. We'll get more games than they initially anticipated. So I think it's looking good here. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like we're hearing a lot of delays lately. So maybe what's going to happen is, like you said, maybe we're going to get like a smaller surge later on just because of those delays, right? Like maybe they
Hmm.
just needed a little bit more time, and
Yep.
yeah, we might get more than games than expected on certain months because of that. So it's
Right.
going to be
Exactly.
interesting to see.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so next up, we've got Italy again, which is a pretty interesting one also. So here he has an analysis of Metacritic scores, and let me try to remember what. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like the games that are starting to get rated a little less than the beginning of the beginning of 2020 basically. So I guess games are getting rated a little less. Might get a surge from LCP. Interesting.
Yeah.
What is,
Yep. Well, the low change porting, the tools. So
oh,
yeah,
okay,
those
okay,
tools. That's what I think too.
that
We'll
makes
see
sense.
more towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
Um, I just want to throw my 2 cents in on this here. I
yeah.
know, like, if we look at it, because some people say, "Oh, well, look, the quality of games are getting crappier." I almost said the S word, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I caught myself. Um, but it's all like into perspective. You put into the value of a Metacritic score. Like, I know there are plenty of games that I don't agree with what the Metacritic score is. So I mean, you
Yeah.
take it with a grain of salt. You use this as information backed up, and you make your own decision on these games. I mean, like I said, the Q1 16 games so far, it's only that's a small sample. All the other scores are out of higher amounts of games there. So I'm not worried at all. What what IGN or what any of the other big outlets rate games now is
Mhm.
really irrelevant to me. I like to just go in fresh and with an open mind and enjoy. And people's games are that they like, their tastes are different. So don't put too much into this here, I would say, for people. It's just a reference just to see.
Yeah, exactly. And even though it's lower, you can still see that there's still some points here that are pretty high. So we're
Yeah,
still getting
exactly.
some top rated game. It's just
Yeah.
it's just different. And like you said, I agree with you because there's so many lower score games that I really enjoy. It's all
Yeah.
about taste. Like reviews are weird, right? Because it's about opinions, a person's
Mhm.
opinion. So that's why
Like
when
take Pixel Junk Raiders, right? Like
yeah,
you love
yeah,
that
of
game.
course.
I love that game. It got rated crap. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, in my eyes, it's not crap. I love it. I mean, I know you love it more than I do, but I still think it's a great game. So again, like say that takes to account in this here, like
Yeah.
like if say Pixel Junk, the Metacritic score was a 5. Well,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. It's at least
No.
a 7 or an 8 in my book, and
Yeah.
probably about an 8. So
So some issues in there is that they don't play like the whole game. They maybe play like sometimes just a couple hours, and sometimes
mhm.
it's not a game meant to be played for such a short period to gain an opinion, right? And
Mhm.
and sometimes even people ask me like, oh yeah, how do you find Baldur's Gate? So I'm gonna say like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But I always say like, well, my opinion might change because I did not finish the game yet, right? So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just an impression. But
Yep.
some people make reviews based off just a small amount of gameplay. They're crunching time and they have no
Yeah.
choice. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And there's also like there are people that review games for outlets. They don't even like that genre, right? So
yeah,
there's people that review like a racing game
yeah,
and they really don't like it. Or for example, like family oriented games, like any of the games from Outright Games, people will review them from a hardcore gamer rather than the intended audience, right? So they're going to
yeah.
give it a lower score. So all in perspective, like I said, you can use this, like Inlead always says, have fun with the data. Um, you can use it, look at it, and just always come to your own conclusion. Don't let anybody else sway you on, your decisions.
Exactly. So moving on, we got Humankind. So I actually had another post where I wanted to show it, but so anyway, so Humankind says we apologize about our silence. As we said in the past, when we have some news, we'll say it. That being said, keep an eye out for an official tweet for us about this in the next few days. There's actually been an update on this, and you know what? Let me actually go get it. So let me just go here and let John stall the chat a little bit
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I get
no.
the
So there's been again that controversy about getting other updates and added DLC for Humankind here, and Stefan there has been kind of vocal on that. I guess really enjoys the game there. So we got an update from the developer saying, well, we're going to make an official tweet in a couple of days. They didn't post an official tweet yet, to my knowledge, but I think
no,
what you're referring to here is a forum post.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you
Yeah, I'm
let
about
you have it
there.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
So
just looking at the screen.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So okay, so what happened here is the dev answered in a forum and it said, yes, you will have the update at the end of the month. So we're getting the latest update of Humankind, which is the Alien Newell.
Mhm.
But in terms of DLC, unfortunately, Cultures of Africa won't be available for the moment. So some people right like base the conclusion that we'll never get this DLC. They're not supporting anymore. That it doesn't mean that. It just means that we're not getting it now. They're focusing on other things at the moment. At least we're getting the latest patch, but looks like we'll need to either wait a little bit for the DLC, or we might not receive it at all. But it is unfortunate that it's that we're hearing that. But don't lose your hope. Don't make conclusions. We might still get it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Very excited about the game, and ultimately, I think what everybody wants is really just the best. So, sometimes emotions get high and things like that. But
Yeah.
no, I've got the fact that there's now a 2-hour trial for Humankind is good. That just allows, again, more exposure, right?
Yeah.
For people to see this. So I think this can also be factored into the gauging of adding that DLC, to the game as well. So
Exactly. Um, yeah, like there's a lot of opinions going for why Stadia, like why it happens a lot with Stadia. I do wish that we would always get the same version as other platforms, but it is what it is, right? They need to based on where they'll make money, so makes sense. All right, so moving on, we've got Lumos. You guys are familiar with that game, right?
Oh my gosh. I loved this interview, Ninja. Like this was, although I bungled up the start time, we had to originally it was going to be on Monday, okay?
Yeah.
And then something came up between Kyle and Michelle. They had another appointment and we moved it to Tuesday. Well, they're on Pacific time, and I would say, okay, we can move this to on Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Well, I accidentally missed just by one letter. I put 8 Pacific. So when we
Yeah.
were getting ready to go live at 8 o'clock, um, they were like, where are they? Where are they? And I messed it up. But anyways, you know what? It ended up being a super awesome interview. I really loved talking with both Kyle and Michelle. They're out in Vancouver here. So much insight into the game. And I know, Ninja, you've played the demo several times on this game. Like, you're super excited for it. So, I mean, what did you think about the interview from Kyle and Michelle?
Man. It was great. We've heard a lot. We've learned a lot of stuff. Like we've learned that the game was actually released in 2020, and Wired Production recruited the game, so they removed it and added some extra stuff for a re-release, which was pretty interesting. And then we've learned that there's going to be 13 achievements. 9 is story related, and then we've got 3. Like what are they? There's a speedrun achievement. There's a collectible achievements. There's a no dying achievement. Like it's very exciting, man. Like I really think that I'm gonna be playing this game more than once. I don't know why. The aesthetic, like the puzzle, I don't know. I really want this game. Like I'm really like it's like McDonald's, right? Like when you get a Big Mac, you just can't stop buying them. But
you know what? I want to see? I want to see you get the achievement where you beat the developer. Kyle was telling us, I think you have to beat the game in like an hour or something like that. So I can't wait for you to get that, because I know you're going to get it, right? Because I know you're so passionate and like you're super excited for this game. And I can't wait for you to get that achievement as well. I mean,
cool.
What do we learn from here? We got the confirmation that yes, the game is launching May the 1st into Stadia Pro.
We've learned some insight on how, like the squares, they can put squares on the screen for the priority of the quality of the stream, depending on where it is. What else did we learn? We learned a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is also too where we learn about Angry Warren, who was able to help bring the game over in about a month, part-time, to be able to do that as well. There's like, again, this is about an hour and a half interview, and it is so great. Like their personalities, Kyle and Michelle, are so awesome. We found out that they've actually too also been working on this game for 7 years. It started out at a game jam, Epic Game Jam, I believe it was, and there were like blobs and things like that. And we just like, you can see like Michelle there is so like really excited about it, and we're all laughing and talking, and
they're a
oh
fun
my
bunch.
gosh, they are a really fun bunch, and Kyle's also worked on other AAA games. Like he's got the Sleeping Dog shirt there. He helped bring God of War over to PC. He's also working on something with Sony Santa Monica Studios as well. So they're into both aspects of the indie and AAA, and getting their their opinions and thoughts on it. Also, another awesome thing I liked what he was asking is like, well, he kind of turned around a question us. He's like, well, why do you guys like Stadia? What is it about it you use? And he drew the parallel,
that was
right?
cool.
There's Granite there. Yeah, by far one of my more favorite interviews. Like Kyle drew the parallel between Stadia and the Linux community. So very passionate about each respective platform and whatnot. So like, again, another great developer interview, just talking with him. It was fantastic. Like just going through my head now of all the different information that we're talking about, like you mentioned about the priority on the screen, the different tools and things like that. So I'm excited to play Lumo, and I know you're super excited as well. And everybody had like a great time in the chat there. And like I said, even though I messed up the start time and everything, we started about a half hour late, but it ended up being fantastic and great.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting. And we even asked them, is there going to be any merch, any plush? And they said, no, they want us to make our own. So that way we can say that we made it, and it's a better experience. So it was cool to see that. And then Rebellica right there. Yeah, she did. She made a ton. I don't know how, I 5, like she made a lot of Lumos.
Yeah, she made a ton of Lumotes there. We showed them in the interview as well. And I think since then she's even like updated, like continued to work on them. Like, look at that. That is so awesome. I love all these Lumotes. And they have this crochet pattern that's out on their site that you can download and get. And Rebellica's just been going to town.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. So great. I'm looking forward to this game. May 1st is only weeks away.
It's gonna be very fun.
Yeah.
So next up we have Wine Simulator. It could definitely be a speed run. Yeah, I can feel that for sure. Like I'm really gonna enjoy it. I do have some Kaze vibes towards it too. Yeah. Just like the small sections and stuff like that for sure. So Eve here is having there's a bug on Stadia and he can't seem to reproduce it. So what he did a tweet. He says, to all Stadia player, we have a bug report that we cannot reproduce and we have no idea how many of you are afflicted by this issue. It seems that when playing with mouse and keyboard, the cursor is 200 pixels above the action area. Have you the same problem? So this is cool. So he's actually asking publicly people to help out. If they have the bug, they need to let him know the scientists had the bug. It didn't happen to Tubag, but I guess it happens to a few people. So I think it's cool that developer can ask people publicly like that, so they can get more insight, they can get more information, and maybe they can get the bug fixed a little earlier. And I've seen this happening with Matt Streets also, actually not too long ago, just a few weeks ago. They did ask publicly, hey guys, can you send us videos of the sliding punch or something like that? I don't know what it was. And there it is, like it's fixed now. So I think people who likes the game, who's helping out like that, I think it's great. I think it's good that there's always like a community built around specific games to help out.
Yeah, and I know just while we're on here, I was looking at while you were talking about the 100 Days Winemaking Simulator. I know that there was on their Discord here, they had some news here. They says, hello, fellow winemakers. It's Friday, but again, this time, let's see. It's Friday again, but this time, no update for the game only. Some news about the future of 100 Days. First of all, the game sales are super healthy. I just remembered this, so otherwise we would have had this shared before. So we are able to keep working on the game. The game is super healthy. The team is super healthy and motivated, so we're eager to keep working on the game. The next update will be May the 3rd with a 1.5 release to celebrate together the 1-year mark of the game. It will be bigger, completely free. Update to thank you for all the amazing support. It says, I will not spoil it too much, but look forward to that update here on May the 13th to celebrate the 1-year anniversary launch of 100 Days Winemaking Simulator.
Very, very exciting. They're very working hard on this game, and that's what I like with games that does very well now, especially with indie games, is that they even though they're not going to make money or they're not going to charge it, they just add contents randomly, like just for the game. And this is crazy, man. Like, I really hope that Dawn of the Monsters have this happening because right, it's so much fun. And I want more stuff. I want to continue playing. It's just that I already finished it, right? So I really hope that we get more stuff on it. Wait, I want a Lumode made of alpaca.
The alpaca. So like the alpaca fur or whatever is nice to be soft.
Oh, the fur. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So moving onward, there's a job opening for Ubisoft in Montreal. So they're looking for a tester, and specifically a Stadia tester. So if we look here, they say you will ensure that the game meets all of the manufacturer's Google Stadia technical requirements. So it looks like they're looking for someone to work full-time just for testing Stadia products, which is kind of cool. What I like about this, it just shows that they're not giving up on Stadia, but there wasn't any hint that they were giving up or anything, right? I'm just saying that every games that we're looking forward to in the future will most likely be coming to Stadia. So to me, this is exciting. And hopefully they do find someone that they can help out. I've heard that a little someone did apply. I was going to go with that, right? Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, no. But you know what? I just decided to throw my name in the hat because looking at it, like, this is basically going in the certification process for the games and back and forth. Like, this would be right up my alley. So you know what? Throw my name in the hat, see what happens. If anything happens, then we can go from there. If not, at least I tried, because this is definitely something that hashtag hire job I would love to do, and just think it'd be like a natural evolution from my love for games, is just going in here and getting into the technical aspects of it. And like we were talking before the show, Ninja, like, we really love learning about all this behind the scenes stuff on Stadia and programming and the hardware and the technology and stuff like it. So this is great. So we'll see. Who knows? But
I wouldn't like it because you'd be like, oh man, I'm trying all of these projects that's exciting, but I can't tell you. And I'd be like, come on, John, I'm your best friend.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Oh man, no, but good luck, John. I hope something comes out of it. It'd be pretty cool. So you never know, right?
I did get the notification today that a human looked at my application. That's exactly what it says. So
a human.
We'll see. At least we know that someone has eyes on it or clicked on it. But
exactly.
If anything does happen, I'll definitely let everybody know.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, very exciting. Hopefully you do. So next up is something that I'm actually going to make John talk a little bit about it. But first, I just want to mention, so there's a game called, what's it called? WuKong something. I can't remember what. Black something WuKong?
There it is. Black Myth WuKong.
Black Myth WuKong. Okay.
Yep.
So they have like a small Q&A on their website, and it says, on what platforms WuKong prepares to launch? And they say PC and other mainstream consoles, cloud gaming platform capable of running the game smoothly are also being considered. So they're being considered. We don't know if there's actually gonna come out on cloud platform, but so there's some key things here. It says capable of running. So, Stadia is definitely one of the most powerful cloud platform out there. And, it's being considered. So that means that I think that we need to raise our voice. I think that we need to let them know that we are very interested in this coming to Stadia. Now, the reason why I want John to talk about this is because this is not really new news. You have some insight on that, so I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about
if you actually want to go down to Smock's tweet there and click on the website.
Okay.
Yep. So this game is an alpha. It's using Unreal Engine 5. And I actually came across maybe a couple of months ago a tweet about this game, and I was asking them, "Oh, is this going to come to Stadia?" But they never really responded here. So this is this is using Unreal Engine 5. So we know, right? Unreal Engine 5's out. It supports Stadia. So this is, it's hopeful. It's very like early on, like it looks really awesome here.
Yeah.
So I would assume that this would be something that would come out in a couple of years is what we're looking at, if possible. So hopefully the developers will take note, and definitely if we make, raise their awareness about the game, because look at it. It kind of looks a little bit like Sekiro. I kind of get that vibe a little bit, like with his long staff there that he's going through. And I bet you it's going to be like challenging and stuff. I'm definitely interested in this too. So the fact that they say cloud platforms capable of running it looks promising.
It's in the Chinese era, and what it reminds me the most is like it's not a soul-like game, but more like before, like during like the Xbox, PlayStation 2 eras, like the type of action. And one of the games that reminds me the most is how do you say that? Otogi?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
And it was such a good action game, like similar to Ninja Gaiden, basically, actually on Xbox, right? So it still looks like a challenging game, but oh my gosh,
look at
these
it
graphics!
Like, you can. What are you changing into that beast or monster or whatever it is?
Yeah,
and it looks amazing. So
yeah,
it's potential here. Like you said, nothing's been mentioned about Stadia itself, but like you said, Stadia is pretty much the most prominent cloud gaming platform that in the public's eyes, really. So we'll see here what comes of it.
Exactly. And guys, if you haven't heard about this game, go ahead and have a look. It's Myth WuKong. And no, it's worth a whole watch. It's such a beautiful game. Like they're really doing an amazing job here. So have a look at this game for sure.
Vivi was saying here, he says, I think at one point it was actually on the Reddit wiki rumors list. So,
interesting. I never noticed that. So I don't know why it was removed, but I guess they never really confirmed it was Stadia, right? So it's still in the unknown. So hopefully we'll see it.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got page. What's it called again?
So these are the game landing pages. And Clive, earlier this week, late last week, noticed new, like what he thought was new game landing pages, and sure enough, in the community, Scooterama went out and I guess like he scrubbed the robots.txt text file, and I don't know how many is here, like at least 50 or 60 different game landing pages, which can be cached on search engines, right? So people looking for games, this is a quick way to be able to find the games here. So if you own it, you click on play or
like even for example, I don't have it, but I can play the trial.
So scroll down a bit. I think what's very interesting about it is each of these pages gives you about the game. It'll give you a trailer. Look at this. So it's going to tell you the genre, the game modes, when it was released, the publisher, reasons to play on Stadia. So this is a very informative page that gives you information on the game, and it looks very lucrative. Look, they have FAQs, so it's like a one-stop shop. If someone's searching for humankind and they come across this, what is the Stadia stuff? Well, this page here, superbly done, and it's for each of these landing pages for these games here that gives you all that information.
Oh, it's the
about it.
deluxe edition. Oh, interesting. They didn't
Yeah.
put the standard one. I was like, why do I need to buy this? I have it, but it's I guess
They want to get those extra couple of dollars for the deluxe edition, right?
exactly. So yeah, these are these are very nice. You know what's nice about this, John? Look at this. So if I put Stadia, Humankind, wait, I think it's just trial. I guess if I do this, look at this. It's now on the Google search. It gives us a result, so it's right there.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
you know when they mentioned that they were going to focus on starting to put them in the Google search. Well, I think that might be what they meant. So now it's it's the first result right here, and you can. So if someone wants to try a Humankind trial, well, you just need to click the link and come on here. So I think they're doing a good job at improving, like the accessibility information of Stadia.
I just want to give a quick shout out. I just noticed it here. Nathan Bain, Humble Bum. I'm pretty sure his name on Stadia is Humble Bum. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Gaming Skarmy. Lieutenant Nathan Bain of the Gaming Skarmy. Thank you so much. It looks like it's been on there for a little bit here. I didn't just glance down into my chat here on my phone till now. So thank you so much, Nathan. Really appreciate that.
Awesome. So next up, I'm not going to click on this tab. This was actually just a new tab to remind something about some news. I don't have anything to show, but I've been hearing today that some free Stadia Pro subscription has been rolling out for some people. So if you've been subscribed to Pro and you might have, and you're not subscribed to it anymore, you might have randomly received a free month of Pro just to see if you probably just to bring some people back into it. So I've been hearing about that today on a few Discords. So I mean, look at your emails if you might be having a free Pro membership if you're not subscribed to Pro at the moment. But it's just something I wanted to say. I don't have anything to show, but it's just something that I've seen around.
Yeah. So before you go on to your last bit of news there, oh no, you can still go on to that. That's fine. I'll just tell you, I just checked Twitter, and there's something else that we'll quickly talk about because we
and I'll let you share that for sure. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. So Outright Games has announced a new game called Star Trek Prodigy Supernova. It's coming soon, but we did not hear that it's coming on Stadia yet. So we'll be seeing it on Stadia, maybe not. Something to notice is that the last few games that came out from Outright Game was not released on Stadia. I think the last one we got was Ryan's Rescue Squad. We did not get a Transylvania game, a My Little Pony game. So are we gonna get this game? Who knows? It's promising. Maybe they just need to put more resources, and we'll get it at a later date. But hopefully, we'll be hearing about this game coming on Stadia sometime soon.
Yep, and that was actually for that game there, the Star Trek Prodigy. There was there's a Star Trek convention in Chicago, and someone saw that there's a banner advertised for it, and someone saw it there, so then Outright put the tweet out and released a press release. We're going to hear more info on it in May, so we'll get more info on that. Basically, in the press release here, it just says at Star Trek Mission Chicago, taking place this weekend, Star Trek Prodigy Supernova has revealed as the first ever video game based on the recent hit animated series Star Trek Prodigy, which follows the intergalactic adventure of 6 alien teenagers aboard an abandoned Federation ship. This game also marks the first ever Star Trek video game aimed at younger players, bringing gaming to a new generation of Trekkies.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
that's interesting. And those other I still think there's a high probability that this is going to come to Stadia. Like, I know the My Little Pony, which is coming out, hasn't been announced for Stadia, and the Transylvania that came out wasn't on Stadia, but Outright did say they're looking into it. So what I'm thinking is, like, these games were already in development before they got their contract and the stuff with Stadia. So, like you mentioned, I think we'll probably just see them at a later date. But this is good. I'm not familiar with the animated series of this at all. I mean, I know what Star Trek is, but again, you know, like I said, it's the first ever Star Trek game that's aimed towards kids. So that's pretty awesome.
It's gonna be interesting. We know that Granite is gonna be purchasing this game. He's a big Star Trek fan, so yeah, it's cool. Like, I didn't know that there was an animated Star Trek. Like, I'm so used to, like, you know, the serious type of you know, like the serious type of animation stuff. So it's cool to see.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen here, and it looks like we've got some breaking news from John. I'm not sure what it is.
Not sure 100% breaking, but so we talked about Stefan earlier, right? In the show here, he was talking about Jonathan game here, that there's a bug in the game and with Thunder Lotus where you can't finish the game, you get 100% achievements. Right. So he tagged them here and they said, "Hey, thank you so much for reaching out and making us aware of this issue. It appears there was a miscommunication internally and the team wasn't made aware of the full extent of this issue. We're sorry for the inconvenience and we'll be actively working on a patch to fix it."
That is cool.
And Lee's like, "Woohoo, awesome, Stefan." And then they said, "That said, we'd also like to extend our most sincere apologies for the way our support handled the situation. We'll be conducting an internal investigation on this matter. Thanks again for reaching out. Sorry for the inconvenience." So
is someone going to be punished or something?
I think someone might get a spanking here. I'm not 100% sure. I guess they, you know, didn't handle it well, but you know, it's good to see. Like, I think Stefan here in this instance reached out in the proper way, right? Mm-hmm. So he's not being disrespectful. He's like, okay, here's the issues I'm having. Here's the documentation when I tried to reach out for help. Yeah. Thunder Lotus, can you help us here, please? And so, you know, they're like, okay, yeah, sure. We didn't really realize about this. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. You know, so reaching out this way and doing it with proper respect and not, you know, going a little overboard there, you're going to get that response, right? Like, you're talking to another person here on the other side of the screen. It's another human.
Yeah.
The person responding on their social media isn't responsible for any of this, right? They're just getting paid to do the social media stuff and respond here. So, you know, treat people with respect, treat others as you would like to be treated, right? The golden rule. And you'll get nice results. And this is good. You know, being able to see this here. Stefan tagged us here so we could mention it on the show. It's great to see. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, shout out.
So, you know me, I hang out a lot in the Stadia Hunter Discord. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a handful of bugged achievements. And most of these achievement bug is so let's say the last achievement that you unlock, the criteria is to unlock every achievement, and then you get that achievement. You know, that happens a lot with PlayStation and stuff. Well, that achievement doesn't unlock, so you know, you get all of the achievements, but that one specific just doesn't. So I know that the golf game, is it PGA Tour 2021? That one, Fox. There's two more that I know of, but they just don't unlock. So we need to reach out the developers like Stefan did, and hopefully we can get these bugged achievements you know, out of the way, because I know it's really annoying especially for the people who hunts for achievements.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, not trying to make excuses for anybody or any developers or things like that, but I think in these early days of cloud gaming and Stadia, we've got to be a little more tolerant of these bugs and maybe features not being included. I mean, definitely we don't have to accept it, but, you know, pointing these out, using the respectable way to address them, eventually over time, as Stadia becomes more popular, as cloud gaming becomes more popular, and developers feel more comfortable with it, we're going to see less and less of these issues. So although at sometimes it may feel like all the games on Stadia are incomplete or bugs, or not necessarily the case there. And you have to think of it too as like, again, like we're looking at Skyclimbers, right? They're a small team. They have so many resources that they can only do so many things there. So some stuff is going to get out the door, but as long as we bring it to the appropriate people's attention, do our due diligence, really, I think that in time that will get a lot better and things will get fixed. And I think, it's like I said, it's only going to get better.
Yeah. And I'm going to say like, it's no one's fault either, because maybe the testing process for Stadia at the start was hard, right? Like maybe it wasn't easy to test these kind of things, and maybe they're improving, and maybe we'll be seeing a lot less of these bugs later on. So that's really good. So
I mean, it's gonna happen. Not, like I said, not making excuses for anybody. We really don't like to see bugs and glitches and things like that, but for the time being, it is what it is, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So I think that's it. We're actually at the point of we've done the news, right?
Yeah.
We've done the community news. Whoo, we're going on a record here. We have a poll here with 51 votes here. Have you listened to the Skyclimbers Q&A?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can do it. I don't know. Do you have a window up?
Yeah, I have it. Let me do it.
Okay, yeah, if you could do it.
So we've got 51 votes in, and let's end this poll. Have you listened to the Skyclimbers Q&A? And the results are... So 74% says no, and 25% says yes, unacceptable. If it was a good interview. If you guys are just slightly interested in the game, go ahead and have a listen. Like I said, Vivi is an excellent host. Oh my gosh, I don't know how he did all of this alone. What amazed me the most is that some people had like a whole paragraph for a question, and he went ahead and just asked the question in a short way. So he was reading the questions, he was listening to Justin, he was talking, like, oh my god, I just can't, it's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, have a look. It's really cool.
I threw the link in the chat there again for the to the Skyclimbers interview here. So
awesome.
Very, very, very good. Vivi says here, 74% of y'all missing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
and then Paul says he has clones, I've heard. That's so funny. Oh man.
So yeah. So I think with that, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention.
I like to open the chat at the end, but honestly, there's nothing really not interesting, but there's not really anything to open the chat with, right? There's nothing really crazy that happened this week or anything. So yeah, I think we talked about like the big news today, the Skyclimbers. We got an update on the alpha. We got the interview. We've pretty much covered all there is, all the Stadia. Yeah. As you can see, guys, we're just like, what's happening? Like we're kind of like, are you sure we're done?
We're dumb. Yeah. We're dumbfounded here. Are you sure you're done? So I think with that, we want to thank everybody for all your support. Again, a big shout out to Nathan for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And as always, we're working behind the scenes here to get more developer interviews. Calico. What else do we have in the works here?
For interviews, we've had Projekt Z in the works.
Yeah, we got that.
We got Calico. Like I think these are the only one confirmed. Right?
From space. We're also talking to developers. Yep. So we're going to touch base with them on Monday. They're back from GDC, so hopefully they will probably be between From Space and Calico. They'll probably be one of those two. Will be the next that we have on the show here.
Yeah, and we're in talks with a lot more, like Matt Streets. We got Elemental War, didn't we? Yeah, I think we're in the works. So with that,
the end of this month, we've got to talk with them as well. Yeah. They're releasing the first week in May.
Oh,
so we've got a lot of behind the scenes stuff. If anybody in the chat has any ideas, or you'd like to see us interview,
even in the community, right? Like even community members,
community. Yep, hit us up here, and we will definitely get to work on that, because we enjoy these just as much as everybody else does here. So I think with that, let me get over to the proper way here so we can roll the end credits. We're ready to roll out here. Episode 28 is in the history books.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can't believe it. Wow, the time is just flown by here.
Oh yes.
But with that, we're gonna bid everybody adieu. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, and we will see you all again next week. Take care, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.